Hello everyone, welcome again. We're back with Event Advice, me and Matt as usual. And today we are talking about 5 things that commonly go wrong at corporate events.
Oh, that's a bit negative, isn't it?
So I guess we're talking about, internal stuff. So you're at your corporate event. We've all been to corporate events before. I'm sure lots of our audience would have been and run corporate events, internal events. And we know that there are things that can go wrong, and we are here to help you fix them.
Are they things that go wrong when event technology is involved, or is it just in general?
It's a bit of both, to be honest. I've had a little scan through the cards. It's a little bit of both.
Okay.
So there is some technology in there.
Death by PowerPoint on there?
Death by PowerPoint is not on there, actually, I don't think. But we will, well, I guess poor audience engagement, but I'll give you a little preview of what's coming up there.
Go on then.
So I shouldn't have done that, perhaps, but I've done it anyway now. So let's start with number 1. A lack of clear objectives. What's gone wrong there?
Sometimes, well, I suppose you might just be asked to run an event, and you run an event without having specific reasons for doing so. And if you're going to invest in an event, you should have clearly defined objectives or outcomes, successful outcomes that you want to achieve. Whether that's you're promoting a new product, you want your team to be absolutely invested, you want them to understand the value. So there's an education piece, there's a collaboration piece, there's there'll be an excitement piece to get them really excited about understanding how tangible or valuable that new release is. So not understanding why you're running that event or what success looks like at the end of it.
Yeah, lack of a clear sort of purpose.
But I think 99.99999% of planners have those clearly defined objectives beforehand. And they're going to be doing their best to deliver those objectives.
Yeah.
A technology, if we're talking about us in this capacity, our responsibility is for us to understand what those objectives are. Normally, if I say to someone, what does success look like for your event? They're in. They know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
These guys, they're professional planners. They know what they are trying to achieve. They have a clear vision of it. Where it becomes murky is how are they going to leverage the tools that are at their disposal to achieve it?
Yes.
That's where we come in. How do we make it tangible? How do we deliver on that objective, or at least play our part from a technology perspective in delivering to that outcome or objective?
To blow our own trumpet for a second, I think probably that's what we're really quite good at. So because all of the people that work for CrowdComms really care about the outcome of your event with you, we're not just selling you technology and see how you go, off you go. It's tell us your objective. We've got experts that will buy into that objective and really help you try and achieve it.
But we've also got a team of event planners who are supporting with the technology. I think that's a really key differentiator. They are incredibly technical people, but they are events people. They understand the pressures that people are under. They understand the complexities of an event. They understand the number of moving parts that are involved in it, which enables them to kind of really focus in on the technology that's going to help you, not the 5 or 6 pieces of technology that aren't really relevant to your requirement.
So do you think they are actually, they are doing the work to figure out how I want my attendees to feel after this event, what I want them to go away with, assigning smart goals and things like that? Do you think they're doing all of that work? It's just they're perhaps being let down by their technology provider?
I think there will be an element. I'm sure they are. These guys, honestly, you've just got to go out there and see them. They're brilliant people working in our industry. Yeah. Ridiculously long hours. So you could say when maybe things that are going wrong is that people have not got time and resource allocated through budget to deliver as they want to those objectives. Maybe that's more of a consideration rather than the vision and the understanding of what those objectives are. I am certain the planners know that. They might be coming up against budget and time as the things, and that's where we can help, because we can offer time-effective tools at a good price point compared to our competitors, certainly.
I've lost count of the amount of times that we've turned around an event in a really rapid amount of time because there is time pressure against it.
Well, even more so, 4 days before an event and they've been let down by their badging provider or let down by their event. This happens every week. It doesn't matter the companies who it is, but there is commonly, it is 3 or 4 companies that seem to be not delivering to expectations, and we will pick up that project and understand it and be able to activate it quickly because it is efficient from a use case perspective.
Lovely stuff. Okay, so another problem that we think corporate events face is poor audience engagement. So, guests losing interest, zoning out during sessions, things like that. How can we avoid that happening?
Involve people, strive for collaboration, connect people with the right people, create interesting topics, understand what they want for the event. So making sure that what people are attending is aligned with what you are, what success looks like. So we can do that in registration. We really want to, we want to cover these topics. Tell us the things you'd like us to cover. Or what are the things that you'd most like us to cover when we're talking about event sustainability? Is it badge printing? Is it AWS server infrastructure being green and eco? And what are the elements that you really want to hear about? So understanding that your objectives are aligned with the audience objectives will stop people being bored.
Yeah.
Don't bombard them with stuff that's not relevant to them. And a smaller example of that is notifications. I go to events. It's like 30,000 alerts, and I go on alert, and none of them are. I'm not interested in them. So use grouping, find out things I'm interested in at registration. If you're going to ask me, then make sure you give me something back from it. Send me 5 alerts that I look at and I'm like, yes, you're absolutely right. I did not want to miss that session.
Yeah.
Avoid Will Custard like the plague. Yes, I will avoid Will Custard like the plague. So make sure that it's relevant and then people won't get bored. And in terms of engagement, have conversations, and collaboration can happen through technology. The oldest form of that is Q&A. It's still my favourite of all engagement in an event app. Being able to ask a question anonymously that other people can then support and push up the list so that the speaker with limited time can focus on the things that are most pertinent to them is brilliant use of engagement.
Yeah.
And often actually some of those really old-fashioned, from like 10 years ago, heaven forbid, engagement technologies are still the most thought-provoking and interesting.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're trying to drive for innovation, but the answer's already there. And so I think lean into some polling and Q&A. I know we do a lot more. We already do a lot more engagement, but lean into it because it blimmin' well works.
Yeah. Personalizing content, things like that, making sure that each individual or groups of people at least are getting the right information for them at the right time.
Personalization, that's the key.
Yeah. Okay, good stuff. So this one is tech glitches and connectivity issues. Let's start with the connectivity issues, and then we'll come back to the tech issues because I think you might throw it at me.
Yeah, so connectivity, as in Wi-Fi goes down?
Wi-Fi, AV breakdowns, we've all been there when...
Power outage.
Power outages.
We had power outage, didn't we, at an event in Spain a few weeks ago, which was, unavoidable, but still.
Let's start with sort of your team on the ground, technical checks, working with unreliable infrastructures. How can we help people? What would we advise on that front?
We wouldn't know what it's like to have unreliable and erratic infrastructure, Will. But what you have is, let's look at how you mitigate against it happening. If you turn up on site with us and say your badge printing machine doesn't work and the person on site goes, "Well, I don't understand this," technician will remote log into the machine from wherever, developer or a technical expert, and address the issue and solve it. What you do to mitigate against the unlikely event that happens is you make sure that you set up the day before, you test badges. you print badges. If you are required to turn up on the event of the day, you've tested it in the office to make sure that it prints badges, the right colours, the right everything. You turn up on site, you understand 99.9% of risk has been, you've been de-risked, which is, as good as we can do. And then you build in things like, mitigation against internet breaking. If the internet goes, you can print because it caches all the information to the machine. So you just have to mitigate against those technical glitches. In terms of like software glitches, if you're on registration or the app, you choose a company that's got really high uptime. Look at the uptime. Yeah. We all have to publicly display it. Yep. And you can't be wrong. You have to display your uptime. So look at things like that to consider whether they are reliable in terms of their infrastructure. Look at the last time there were technical issues. They will probably have to promote and do a response to all clients if there has been a technical glitch and outline why it happened. So consider that. That isn't me saying we don't have technical glitches. There have been occasions where we do have technical glitches. Look at how the company reacts to those technical glitches to mitigate against it happening in the future. I
would definitely agree with that. We all work in the software industry, us and our competitors. There is no way that you're not going to get bugs crop up now and again. It's about how you react. It's about how quickly you can support your staff that are on site. It's about how quickly, we've got lots of things in place. We are not an IT ticketed system where you'll just get a stock response. We are human by nature.
No, you're going to get us on the call.
Absolutely.
Quite often you and I.
Yes, absolutely. And, we see every problem that comes through the system.
Yeah.
We're as worried about that as anyone else. And we know the pressure on site to get it right, get it fixed, get it working again. We are rapid response.
So I think to answer that question, you can follow a process that enables you to choose the right technology partner that operates with honesty and integrity when things go wrong, have clear lines of communication in terms of how they're going to fix it. But more importantly, that they learn from them and they make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, that's it. Sometimes things are unavoidable, but it's making sure that they don't happen again.
Yeah.
Learn from them. Budget overruns.
Yeah, I mean, blimey, that's always been a concern. Things are spiraling in terms of budgets a little bit at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of platforms are working with each other, aren't they? You want to get the best ROI. You want to make sure that you are, making sure that you show your returns for each event, making sure that you're growing each year and things like that.
It's interesting though with budget. Like, we play such a small part in terms of the budget. Say we turn up to a 1,000-person event and we do registration, on-site badging, event app, attendance tracking, lead capture, sponsor exhibitor kind of management and call all that onboarding. We turn up on site and we do all the badge printing. We film these sessions and we stream it so that a hybrid audience can watch. Say we do all of that at an event, it's going to cost under $30,000. So for a 1,000-person event, which might have a budget of $500,000, we are a very small component of that. Yep. It's probably the same as coffee.
But we're doing
probably
a lot.
The same as coffee and donuts.
In terms of that, you get a big bang for your buck for
the technology. We'll then be squeezed.
Yeah.
You know what it costs to build technology.
Yeah.
I'm not being defensive about our industry, but we are often on very tight budgets, being asked to do really complex things, supported to an incredibly high standard, that are absolutely integral to the well-being of your event because they determine what people see when they register, what the first thing they experience on site when they get a badge, driving the engagement, the collaboration, the connections that you're going to make at the event, unless it's valued the same as coffee. I find that challenging when I look at how passionate we are about it, how much we care about it, and the amount of work that goes into it and sleepless nights that go into making it happen and making businesses like us profitable. I really feel it's a really challenging industry. from an event technology perspective, most of the companies out there, and this is not to be taken lightly, most of our competitors lose money as businesses. They are not profitably run businesses because it's very difficult to make it happen. We're in a very fortunate position, less relevant to event advice, that we are a profitable business, but it's bloody hard work doing it. The budget question is a difficult one for me because I think we're undervalued in terms of what we do and what we deliver and how integral we are to the event journey.
Yeah, you get a lot of value. The value is the key word there, isn't it? You get for that portion of your budget that you've allocated for technology, you do get good value.
Huge innovation. It touches so many parts of the event journey, that user's journey, to positively impact their experience and to help you deliver to those successful objectives and outcomes that you stipulate in state.
One of the things I've heard event organisers talk about is kind of hidden charges, like hidden last-minute changes to plans and hidden costs where
nobody can budget with hidden charges, though.
Yeah.
We thought it was going to be this, it ended up being this.
Yep.
It has to be black and white, doesn't it?
Yeah.
By the time we've spoken to you about your event, and had that consultative process, we're going to know exactly what the cost is going to be. And it's going to be presented and it will be stuck to. The only way that it would change is if we're supporting or building, we say we think it's going to take 20 hours and it goes to 25, then obviously there is that, but that would be outlined in advance of your project if we're delivering the support component of it.
I guess on that front, I think most event planners would have this, but some contingency in your budget.
Yeah.
For things like that,
And these, like I said, the planners, the professionals that we work with, who implement our technology alongside wearing about 7 other hats when they're running an event, they're pretty blooming good at it. They'll build that contingency into their models.
So in that, is it really important? Do you think it's really important that you're talking to your vendors, make sure your requirements are accurate when you do talk to your vendors? Make sure that they know exactly what you're trying to achieve as early as possible. Talk to the consultants that we've got, talk to us, talk about what functionality, Rory and I were in London last week talking about what else people could do to elevate their events with a company.
Yeah.
It's understanding what the technology does will help you plan better to what you want to achieve and try and get it as early as possible.
Yeah. You've got to have open conversations and be very clear with what you're expecting so that someone understands your problem clearly and they're presenting a solution for the actual problem, not just a version of it. That's why I hate RFPs. Do you do this? What are you trying to solve?
Yeah.
What does it actually look like? Who are the people? Never describes the people, never describes what they're trying to achieve, never describes what they're coming together to do. It talks about, do you do? And we do that. Yes. But you're not ever really understanding why we're here and exactly what we're trying to solve. And therefore, it removes all the joy out of that process of getting to understand what someone's trying to do and why they're trying to do it. I think it really restricts the ability to present the right solution. And it becomes purely about budget, which is nonsensical.
I think often
it's a good starting point sometimes.
It is a good starting point, but I think often people assume that as event technology providers, we are just focused on the technology part of that, not the event part.
Yeah.
And actually what we do is, we try and understand the goal that you're trying to achieve. We try and embed in your team. We try and be part of what you're trying to do with your event. And we do that thousands of times a year.
Yeah.
It's not like we don't know how to run a good, a successful event.
Oh, we're doing it.
Because we're supporting it all the time.
200 times a month.
Yeah.
We're seeing and learning from the good, the brilliant, and the bad.
Yeah. And I often think that knowledge is sometimes underestimated when you're talking to your event tech provider. It's like the RFP thing.
Yeah.
Does your technology do this, this, and this? Well, yes, it does. But if you talk to us, we can help make your event better.
Yeah. And there are lots of event professionals that know a lot about the intricacies of the event, much more about the intricacies of running an event. But being at an event and being part of an event, we are at thousands.
Getting the
Some
best
of the project managers will be doing, 50, 60 specific events, 100 events sometimes a year.
Yeah.
They're touching so many different types of events in different sectors that have different kind of objectives, and learning how we can implement technology, but also learning from just turning up there and seeing what people really get a buzz from.
Yeah.
You can tell a good event. When you turn up, it's all about the energy. It's all about that. How does it feel? You know, how are the people feeling? Where are they walking? It's all that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Insufficient branding and personalization is our fifth and final problem. So a hybrid event feels generic, fails to reflect your company's identity, leaving attendees feeling a bit uninspired, a bit unimpressed.
Well, if you're passionate about a brand, you want to land on a piece of technology and it's just your brand. It isn't a piece of CrowdComms technology, it's a Coca-Cola or Nike. And when you don't get it right, if you're passionate about that brand, then you realise it.
Yeah, it's straight away, isn't it?
Us, is
it's
it?
instant.
That's not us.
Yeah.
Who's built this?
Yeah.
Who's done this?
It's like they've just bolted a bit of tech on top.
Customization and personalization are so closely linked. Design customization makes people feel special in the same way that personalization, when you land on a piece of technology and it talks just to you, it not just talks in terms of showing you things that you might want to do and be interested in meeting with and engaging with, but also talks to you and acknowledging who you are. And customization is the same. It's about showing someone that you care, that you care enough to get it right.
Well, you're connected to that brand. That brand has mind share with you.
Yeah.
You have a relationship with the company that you are attending that event for.
Yeah.
So they want to feel like the brand is talking to you.
Yeah.
And they are talking to just me. Just like an advert, just like going straight down the lens, talking to people at home. You know, that connection is not with just a random generic piece of technology.
And the real clicker, the thing that wins it, is enabling people to do that quickly, efficiently, and without too much skill. And that is not me being harsh on the people that are building these projects, but they are not designers like you. There are people that are trying to replicate a brand. A designer creates a brand. These people are implementing a brand that's already established, and they've got to be able to do that quickly. We're better than that than anyone.
Yeah, and I think probably...
Is that a bit bold and brash?
No,
I think we are.
Do you know what? We're told it a lot.
Clients are telling us.
Yeah, it's not something that... I mean, we do believe it. That's what we're aiming for.
Yeah.
That's what the goal of the company is. And, you know, we get told we achieve it. So that's always nice to get that feedback. Lovely. So I think we'll leave it at that.
We did all right, didn't we?
I think there's some decent-ish advice in there, potentially, if you are really paying attention.
That's what we're aspiring to if you base it on the title of this series, Will.
I mean, there's some advice.
About events.
About events in this. Okay, great. Thank you very much for joining. As always, thank you very much. And like, subscribe if you can, comment below. We would like a few more likes. We've got lots of subscribers, but we would like a few more likes on the videos. That would be great.
Like it, get your mum to like it, get some friends to like it.
Share it, show it to your friends. I mean, it's good stuff. Okay, thank you very much. We'll see you again soon.